Qualifying for the playoffs was hard enough as it was for Toronto FC. Securing only one of a possible 6 points makes the task seem impossible now. You know, the NFL had the chance to do the right thing. I believe that the NFL was going to be on the right side of history for the first time ever. Unfortunately, the NFL did what the NFL does. The impact that they've had on Toronto FC, it's undeniable. I understand that you have to defend your quarterback. I understand that you just can't come out and, say, well, we don't want Deshaun anyways. I understand. I get it. I have to do this because I have to appreciate it. So Toronto FC flew down to Florida to take on the David Beckham-owned Inter Miami. TFC started the game 3 points behind Miami, and then when the final whistle blew, TFC trailed Inter by 6 points. Saturday's loss is a devastating blow to Toronto's playoff chances, and I made the importance of today's game pretty obvious on Twitter when I tweeted at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturday, August 20th, that this is a must-win game for Toronto FC. I also said, get used to me saying this for the rest of the season. With 7 games remaining on the Reds' schedule, it's not impossible for Toronto to make the playoffs, but I also wouldn't say it's probable. There were a lot of things that went wrong for TFC Saturday night. The strikers couldn't score. The defense was sloppy. Federico Bernardeschi went down way too easy in the box, way too many times. But the guy who is being blamed for the loss is keeper Alex Bono. And for the second straight game, Bono led in a howler. And for the second straight game, TFC had to play from behind because of poor goalkeeping. TFC fans are mad, and they're not holding back. Now, we'll get to TFC fans' comments in a second, but first, here's what Steve Buffery wrote for the Toronto Sun. He said, for the second match in a row, TFC largely outplayed an Eastern Conference opponent, only to fall short of picking up a much-needed 3 points. For the second straight match, Toronto's lack of finish was a major problem. Though on Wednesday, the Reds did score a goal in the second half to record a 2-2 draw against the New England at BMO Field. But they should have had more against the Revolution, and they should have had more than just one against Inter Miami. TFC deserved at least a draw on Saturday night, and it was a major flub by goalkeeper Alex Bono that resulted in Miami scoring its first goal. The loss was a major blow for Toronto's playoff chances. The Reds, who were unbeaten in 5 straight games heading into the match, are now 4 points out of a playoff spot with 5 teams to climb over and only 7 games remaining. Even if TFC goes on a big win streak, it'd need more of the teams ahead of them to go on a slump, and that probably isn't going to happen. Here's what some Toronto fans had to say about this game. Not Nice said, are these players getting paid? What a waste. How is Nelson and Bono in the starting 11 after their disastrous showings in the previous games? Bernardeschi and Enseñe selfishness is becoming a problem as well. Stuck in Dev says, it sucks when we consistently look like the better team, but give up 2 or 3 cheap goals per game. Daniel says, season's over, unfortunately. And Tom W. says that was embarrassing, likely knocked out of a playoff race by using a pub team keeper in net. And again, Alex Bono had a laugher, and one that he's going to want back, and one that could have cost Toronto FC their playoff chances. Now, I've got some audio from the game tonight. For those of you watching the video version, this is an audio podcast that happens to have a video component. We're just going to hear the audio. Here it is.
Time Toronto won that first meeting, it was Pozuelo who scored the decisive penalty. Gonzalo Higuain. Jean Mota from distance, and he stays the gloves of Alex Bono. It's a howler from the Toronto goalkeeper. And Miami celebrate the opener. Toronto have given up their fair share of goals, even with the reinforcements coming in. It's the 46th goal allowed this season. Bernardeschi is closed down by Gregory. Lorenzo Insigne! Oh, there's the response for Toronto.
Oh, golazo! Golazo, lasso, and it's a heart of gold from the Italian. Ingenious Insigne.
Oh, later cross from Pozuelo, lifted in back post. There's Damian Lowe across. Lassiter brought down, and Lassiter strikes as Miami retake the lead.
What a team goal this is! Is it just like Phil Neville's name drawn up in practice? I'm not so sure.
It's a spill, nothing in it, and there's the final whistle. In a match between two playoff hopefuls, a real measuring stick of their playoff credentials. It's Inter Miami who comes out in front.
Here's a little bit more reaction from the Toronto FC fan base. Crypto says, for the love of God, put ego aside and bring back Giovinco. He's available and ready. Rajat says, keep playing Bono, keep losing. Good job, coach. Chairman Dave says, had to know for weeks we were losing this game. Rest disadvantage, travel, climate, Miami not a bad team, but man, some people treating it like this is the end of the world. The Raving Times says, it's rather alarming when Toronto can spend $20 million per year on two players, but Bono is still starting after 4 terrible seasons, and some clubs have better second-choice keepers. Heck, Minnesota's current keeper was their third-choice option 2 years ago, and now he's one of the best. Toronto FC fans obviously not happy. But this is Ray's Sports Rant, so it's time for Ray's useless rant, and it's in response to this tweet. It says, in hockey, it's common to swap the starting goalie if he's playing poorly for the backup. Should have swapped keepers at halftime in this game. I want to tell anybody, any hockey player and any hockey puck and any big hockey fan who wants to come in and weigh in on a Toronto FC conversation and compare it to hockey, there was a World Junior game Saturday night. You should have been watching that game rather than coming in and watching the Toronto FC game. It's not the same sport. You also don't have unlimited substitutions. You don't waste a substitution to bring in a position that is significantly a decrease when you bring them in. Please do not offer up opinions that make no sense to the sport that we are talking about. This is soccer, football from around the world. This isn't the ice game. This isn't hockey. I'm so tired of hearing hockey fans who know nothing but hockey comparing hockey to every other sport. You do it with basketball. You do it with soccer. I've heard people do it with baseball. Now, I didn't think I had to explain to people that you don't waste one of your limited substitutions on your keeper unless your keeper is injured. Now, I don't disagree with everybody that perhaps Bob Bradley should sit Bono down the next game, let him think about the gaffes that he's made. But you don't make the switch at halftime when you have to worry about the 10 position players on the field that are going to try to score a goal to put you ahead or tie up the game. Remembering that at half, the game was 1-1. A keeper change was not going to be the difference in this game. So please leave these kind of comments to yourself. I am really tired of the hockey pucks jumping in conversations they have no point of being in. And that's it. We have come to the end of Ray's Sports Rant. And everybody, my name is Ray Rout, and I do this for the Dean Blundell Network at deanblundell.com. You can also find some of my work over at rayrout.com. I normally put out stuff every day at 10:30 p.m. Eastern time, but sometimes, like this episode here, I'm reporting on a specific game, so I'll put it out that night or later that or early the next morning, like I did today. Tune in, enjoy, DeanBlundell.com. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until next time, you're all legit, kid.